I'm Princess India, and these are whatever animal ears these are. And I'm here with your September mid-month special announcement. You are not grieving the loss of them. You are grieving the loss of who you wish they were. This has been a public service announcement. And the intro's coming right now.
Why love superficially when we can go from hello to epitome, manifesting destinies.
Hi, Gemini. Welcome to your September mid-month reading. I'm on the floor in my office, so yeah, that happened. But welcome. I had to move here because the lighting in all the other videos is just horrendous. So I was like, hey, why not we sit on the floor? So my white background doesn't wash everything out too much, but the lighting still sucks. But who cares, dagnabbit son of a gun, I said. So anyway, welcome to your September mid-month reading, Gemini. I'm a Gemini rising. How cool is that? But we're going to jump in and see what's going on with you guys. We're doing a slightly different spread. Well, not slightly, it's totally different. Just throwing that out there. But we're going to look at where you guys are in a mental space, in your physical space, in your environment, how you guys are in an emotional / spiritual space, what it is that's blocking you guys, and how to move forward. Dagnabbit, summon a gun, and then we're going to do 2 oracles. I don't have the dice of resonance, y'all. But anywho, so we're going to see what's going on with you guys. So Spirit, please give me clear and direct guidance for Gemini for the end of September going into October, please. Clear and direct guidance only, but that's the only thing that you ever give me anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because you're awesome, Spirit, and I love you. Spirit loves you too. And as I'm shuffling, I saw the Strength card. Are you taming the inner beast, Gemini? My friends are making jokes about y'all. They were like, did you do Gemini yet? And I was like, no, I didn't do it yet. And they were like, oh, that's going to be fun. And I was like, what's that supposed to be? And I'm a Gemini rising. I take offense to that. They be talking about that y'all be all over the place and things. They're water signs, you know. They don't understand. They kind of do. But that's going to be me talking about people. But anyway... Spirit, let me get some cards for Gemini to give them insight. And this is a general read, by the way. Give them insight into their lives, what they need to know, what they're struggling with, and advice moving forward going into October, which is Princess's favorite month in the whole wide world. Yeah, love October. Hopefully it starts getting cold here. It's probably not going to start getting cold until the end of October. But anyway... All right. I hope I have enough space. All right. So, for you guys in mental space, we have the High Priestess. Gemini, are you trying to tune into your intuitions? Physical space, you guys may be having a little money troubles right now. You know what I'm saying? Your money might be a little funny. Things might be a little tight. I'm trying to think of more metaphors. Snatching your purse strings, is that how that goes? I don't know. In your spiritual space or your emotional space, you guys have the 8 of Cups. So, wow. So this is more or less you guys tuning into your intuition because where you are now, and this could be a work thing. So it's more or less like seeking out for spiritual guidance of like what the next step is, because where you guys are presently, whether that's in, you know, a financial space, if that's actually with your actual job, or any type of like, you know, relational type of thing, because these are general, so it's not just love, but it's just the fact that, you know, things are feeling kind of tight right now, right? But I'm kind of more or less feeling that this may be something more in the work arena. So it's like you're not making enough money and then you're not happy anyway. So it's kind of like trying to figure out what you want and where you want to go. And then it's like needing something that's more emotionally fulfilling, because it's like you're clear at this time that where you guys are in your life isn't really so much in alignment with you, and it's being willing to go in that direction. So I can give you guys kudos for that, because if your first step is to consult spirit, you are winning in life. Dag nabbit son of a gun. That's always what you want to do. You want to check in when you feel like you don't really know what's happening or what you want, or what's going on. It's like, instead of listening to like outside sources or other people telling you what it is that they think is best for you, it's going to the source, and figuring out what the next step is. And that's whatever it is that is in alignment with you. So it's kind of, to me, that you guys are starting like a new path, but I think it's beautiful that you're taking it upon yourself to make changes in your life instead of waiting for somebody to come save you, because ain't nobody coming to save you. Anywho, challenges is the Three of Pentacles. Then we have the King of Wands. So a fire sign person may be helpful, or maybe a hindrance, maybe your boss. Ooh, Jesus. And then y'all got the Devil card. Interesting. So for some of you guys, this may be an addiction for some of you guys. Ooh, yeah. For some of you guys, this may be like almost crying. Ooh, y'all. Okay, this ain't for everybody, but this is for some people. So there's some Geminis that are literally like in prayer to break free from an addiction. So it may very well be alcohol, you know what I mean? So it may be drinking and coming to the realization that your drinking is kind of getting out of hand, hence the reason why your money is funny. Or, I mean, it could be any type of, and it doesn't necessarily have to, because, I'm saying addiction, and it may be alcoholism. That's what's kind of pointing out to me, but it doesn't necessarily have to be, like, addiction, like drugs or alcohol. It could be cigarette smoking. It could be shopping. You know what I mean? Shopping is an addiction. Or it could be food. But it's just something that's not serving you. It's like you're in service to it. So it's more or less like you're working to service this addiction. And it's to the point where it's like it's not fun anymore, And I think it may be something, and it could even be a gambling addiction, what have you. Like, whatever the case may be, it's like it's making you feel burdened. Like, it's clear to you now that this is a burden. And you feel that you've lost control of it. And it's like this High Priestess is coming as almost like you're inquiring or asking for divine intervention to come through, because you're feeling like you're not strong enough to overcome this on your own, which is another thing I can totally give you kudos for. Because it's like when you're realizing that, something is out of hand and you've tried to master it on your own, and it's almost like you're crumbling under the weight of it. It's like becoming aware of that and admitting it to yourself is like the first step. Look, y'all, come sit on this couch. Okay. But seriously, that's the first step, is like admitting that you have a problem. And I'm seeing that you guys are in this space where you're admitting legit like you have a problem, right? So the thing is here that I see that the biggest challenge for you guys is reaching out for help, and then it's like breaking ties with the addiction in totality, you know what I mean? And that's where I say a person who's a fire sign could actually be of great help to you. So it may be someone who is a Leo, a Sagittarius, or an Aries, right? It could be a father figure. It could be a husband, But I am getting the vibe of a dude, but I feel like it's someone that you're reluctant to go to because, I don't know, it's almost like being afraid of showing this person a weakness. So this person could be like a huge help in your life. It could be a person that could help free you from this or finance it or what have you. But the challenge is going to be to actually go to him and to be honest about whatever this is that you're struggling with. So even if it's someone who's not, struggling with addiction, and I'm hearing college. So if this is someone who's a college student, and say like, you went to school for this particular thing that say your dad's like a dentist, right? And I don't know why I use dentist so much, but anyway, it's my secret desire to be a dentist and make all the dentist money. But say if, like, your dad's a dentist and you went to dentistry school and say you're really not doing so well, you know what I mean? It's like your challenge is going to be to kind of stop hiding that you're not doing so well and actually coming to your dad. But I'm feeling like that is going to be the biggest thing, because with this King of Wands being in the center, you know what I mean? Either this person is the big challenge for you to admit this to, and then for other people, whether this be addiction, or if it's and I'm not going to necessarily say addiction, because if we were to say that this King of Wands is you, I wouldn't want to imply that this is something that you would do yourself. Of course, it's like this motivation or your passion or desire to overcome this addictive energy. It's going to come from within, because you would have to be committed to your recovery process, of course, but it's still not a journey that you would take alone. You'd most certainly want to have support. But for those of you where this is an addiction, and say it's just like a job situation that you're not making enough money and you're not really happy with it, right? It's you going out in search of what you want so that you can be in this place of the King of Wands. So it's like your challenge is to step into that power of you doing something that you are passionate about, something that utilizes your creativity, something that you resonate with on a soul level. You know what I mean? And I'm seeing it more or less in like maybe you. So maybe you want to be a freaking counselor. I need to start using myself as an example. Maybe you're someone who overcame addiction, and your challenge is, maybe leaving the corporate world and you leaving, this thing. And it may be a call from spirit that you feel it's like you working with other people, and this may cause you to get a little pay cut. It's going to be a pay cut, especially if you're making dentist money. Yes, just heads up. But it's rewarding, nonetheless, when you're doing something that's more in alignment with you. So I think that's a challenge for another group of my Gemini people, is you may be feeling this call to do something that resonates more with your spirit, that's helping other people overcome things that were that you were once in bondage to, right? And it's grappling with this whole thing of knowing that you're not happy and knowing that you mean more, but it's just almost coming to terms with the fact that it's going to be a pay cut, especially if you leave in dentistry. What is up with this freaking Three of Swords that's coming up everywhere? Jeez Louise. And that's 2 3s on top of each other. And we have the Ace of Swords. And then, we have the 6 of Wands. That's very interesting. Okay, so I'm going to be real with you now. If we're talking about, if we're going back to our initial addiction story, right? So if you guys are overcoming an addiction, there is going to be a level of heartache and loss that's going to be felt. Because one thing that I know for sure with addiction, it's like a safety blanket. It's a comfort a lot of times, because it helps you cope with life, right? But the thing is that a lot of times when you're releasing an addiction, it can feel like you're grieving as if you're losing a loved one, right? And if you want an example of that, you can watch Russell Brand's documentary, where he's talking about like the disease of addiction and like the heroin crisis that's occurring in Britain. And a lot of the addicts that he interviews, they talk about their drug habit like being the only thing that was ever there for them. Like when everyone else turned their back on them and they were feeling like this, it's like drugs were always there for them. They could never rely on people, but they could always rely on drugs. And to some people that sounds like, oh my gosh, are you serious? Like that's an inanimate object. But nah, man, it's like for some people that's legit what it is. So if this is something that has been like an emotional crutch for you in a sense to cope with life and things, letting something like that go is going to be painful, because it is a loss. It is something that you have to grieve. But you would want to stand firm on this truth of knowing that this is the best decision for you going forward, and you will be victorious, right? And so the same with everyone else. If it's someone who is unhappy in a present job situation and is unhappy financially, and you go in the direction of what it is that you feel more in alignment with, it's like there is going to be a level of loss, especially if this is our dentist that's going to be an addiction counselor. You're going to take a huge pay cut, and that's going to hurt. You know what I'm saying? Your heart going to be a little broke. You're going to have to get some great value, you know? You ain't going to be able to get name brand Fruit Loops. You're going to have to get Fruity Loops. Just saying. You know? Times is hard. Get a little ramen up in this piece, you know? So it's a level of loss that is going to have to be released. But for you guys as well, it's going to be worth it because you're living in your truth with our good old little King of Wands and our little Ace of Swords. So it's like you're living in your truth. You're living in something that you're more in alignment with, something that you're more passionate about, and it's going to work out for you in the long run, because I guarantee you, I left a whole career behind. I like literally had an entire career doing news reporting and doing advertising and marketing and had my firm and stuff like that. And I left all of that behind to go to graduate school to become a counselor because that was more in alignment with me. So I had the opportunity to make tons of money and to be successful at that. But even as my success rose, I felt so unfulfilled because I felt that I was supposed to be out there helping people to overcome the things that I overcome. So this is something I can totally resonate with. It's like I've been in that space. Yes, I took a massive pay cut, but it's worth it in the long run because there's never me waking up and being like, oh, I have to go to work today. Like, I can't even remember the last time that I said that. It's like I literally wake up like, oh, I get to go to work today. It's like, oh my gosh, you know? Spending lots of time in Office Depot buying office supplies and I'm all bucked up. No, I really do love Office Depot. That's a serious problem. It's an addiction of mine. Need to get my life together. But anyway, on a serious note, so it's like it is going to be a bit of a sacrifice, you know what I mean? But it's going to pay off in the long run, you know what I mean? And even so the same, if it's, you know, someone who's in college or even if it's an adult, you know what I mean? If you're, because I mean, I think the thing, I'm laughing, y'all, because it's like this high priestess sitting here, it's like I'm sensing this person is like desperate because the vibe that I get is this is probably someone who legit does not pray like all day, every day. Like they're not a very meditative person, but it's like, I really feel like you're just like, Lord, please, Jesus, please, Buddha, somebody answer me. What do I do? You know? So if in the event, if it's someone, if you're leaving a marriage or a relationship or you're flunking out of college, you know what I mean? Or if you moved out of your parents' house and you're running low on money, it's like, and you're needing to come to a parental figure or what have you, it's like, don't look at it. I told y'all I'd be hearing things. Anyway, don't look at it as admitting defeat. You know what I mean? Because I feel like this person is going to be a lot more supportive. I do sense that they're going to be a tad bit disappointed, but I do still see for you guys that being honest and telling the truth is going to work out in your favor, because being dishonest right now is leaving you stuck, it's leaving you stagnant, it's leaving you unhappy, and it's creating toxicity in your life, right? So we want to open up the path of truth. You know what I'm saying? It's like we don't want to stay in any type of little stagnant, you know, deceptive type of energy, because something that could be a minor problem that this person could potentially help you with, it's something that could be overcome and solved if you reach out and allow people to help you. So it's like the longer that you keep it a secret, the more of a problem that it's going to become. You know what I mean? So let's be honest, dagnabbit son of a gun. So this is my new deck that's super dope and awesome and gorgeous. Oh my gosh, and I just dropped them. Y'all didn't see that. No, I didn't see that. So anyway, Spirit, let me get one card for Geminis, please, to give them guidance going forward. Whoa, okay, jeez. All right. It's 4 of them. Why not? I mean, whatever. Y'all get all 4. Pisces got 2. Okay, the first one we have, aren't these gorgeous? The Council of Light. And it says divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. So this is more or less like your spiritual guides. So this is like ancestor spiritual guides. Like, you know how I told, this is so funny. Wait. You know how I said it was like somebody who's praying, who's like, Jesus, Buddha, somebody. Like, this is literally all the OGs, like all the Ascended Masters. So they're all like listening, like, what's up? They're all like, what's up? You're calling on us, what's going on? Council of Light at your service. Spiritual Goon Gang. Trust your path. These cards are freaking gorgeous. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Gemini, dag nabbit, trust your path. Next, we have Sisterhood of the Rose. And it says, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. That's our good old high priestess right there. And if this King of Wands is a female energy, but she just comes off a little masculine, you know what I'm saying? This is going to be a person that is going to play a vital role in your change over. So if that's the person who's dealing with addiction, or if this King of Wands person is you and it's you stepping into your calling, then you may be being called to the sisterhood of the unfolding rose, ever unfolding rose. No, I'm just kidding. But it's more or less stepping into a calling of being like your Hierophant energy, like your priestess, your teacher, your leader, you know, light worker, all that good stuff. Next card that we have is Anna, grandmother of Jesus. And it says, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. So this to me is also talking to those of you who feel as if you're stepping into your calling. And this may be somebody, I just heard this, but this may be someone who's Catholic. So there may be someone who's Catholic that's watching that feels like they're being like called to the sisterhood or the brotherhood, you know, just saying. So Spirit, let me get a chakra, because that's how I'm going to say chakra when I get old. Chakra. Let me get a chakra oracle card for Geminis. Beauty and devotion. Man, that's so beautiful. Oh, man. I would just love if there was just like a sisterhood of chicks that were just like, we're just loving each other and doing mystical stuff. We have soulmate. Story time. Root chakra work. Soulmate. This card indicates... oh, wait. I should probably hold it up while I'm reading, huh? This card indicates changing old communication patterns and being open to a new way of interacting. You may no longer be able to have conversations that don't sustain your authenticity. Freedom lies ahead. Better than you can ever imagine. Yes, man. Why? Because we're releasing this devil energy and we're going to start being freaking honest in our communication so we can see some freaking victory. So we're going to stop lying to ourselves and we're going to stop lying to others. Do you want to know why I love this card so much? Because it talks about your soulmate being yourself. God damn it, son of a gun. Then we got a little Reiki energy going on here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Truth with self allows us to be truthful with others because we can't be anything with anyone else unless we are first that with ourselves. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Well, that has been your mid-September general reading. Gemini, fellow family member, as I am a Gemini rising and I like to be included. I'm so jealous of everyone that gets to watch 3 different videos every month and I only get to watch 2. Well, no, actually 4 different videos every month because my Venus is in Gemini, my rising is in Gemini, and then I'm double freaking Taurus and my sun and my moon. All I get to watch is 2 videos. I don't think that's fair. I'd just be trying to make up stuff like, does this apply to my 10th house? Is this my mid-heaven or haven or whatever? I'm always pronouncing stuff wrong. Anyway, why am I still talking? I love your face. I'm done. I'll see you guys in October.
Why love superficially